All right, now I've been asked to have a look at this one here. This one here is saying, by the way, this is from Theta, 18.06, question 3a. And the question is express 27 as a power of 9. In other words, we want 9 to the power of something is equal to 27. And the student actually came to me and they said, look, I know that 27 is 3 times 3 times 3, and 9 is 3 times 3. And I think, by the way, that's a great place to start because we know that 3 is a factor of both 9 and 27, whereas 9 is, well, it is a factor of 27, but we can't multiply 9 by itself any number of times to get 27, unless, of course, it's not a whole number or not a natural number. So how do we go about this? What can we do? Well, the first thing I think to realize is if we've got a power, we can keep this as powers, numbers of the same power. So if this, for example, was a 1, and this would be a 1 and a 1 and a 1. By the way, we could change this power to anything, and as long as whatever we change this to, and these ones to the same thing, it would still be true. So, for example, if this is 9 to the power of 1 is 3 times 3, but of course this could be 9 to the power of x is 3 to the x times 3 to the x. In other words, 9 could be 14.3 pi on 7, and as long as we change these ones here to 14.3 pi on 7 as well each, then it would still be true. So this is what we're looking for here, and but the key, of course, is we need factors of this that are going to work well. Now, the one thing, of course, is if this here is true and this here is true, then we know something else as well. Let's take this one and let's actually work out what we could do here, because we can do quite a useful thing here. We can actually say, well, we know that 9 to the power of anything is 3 times 3 to the anything times 3 to the anything. Therefore, what about 9 to the power of 1/2? Well, that must be 3 to the power of 1/2 times 3 to the power of 1/2. Of course, that's the same as saying the square root of 9 is equal to saying the square root of 3 times the square root of 3, which of course is absolutely true. And this, by the way, works because if I've got 3 to the, if I got square root of 9, square root of 9, of course, is a 3, yeah? And we've got is equal to 3 to the half times 3 to the half. Well, we keep the base the same. We're multiplying them together, and half plus a half is a 1, so 3 is equal to 3 half plus a half, and half plus half is 1, so 3 does indeed equal 3 to the power of 1. So we know these things are to be true. But it also means, of course, that 9 to the power of a half must equal the same thing, because 3 to the power of half times 3 to the power of half, half plus half is 1, so 9 to the power of a half must, of course, equal 3 to the power of 1, as in 3 to a half plus a half is 3 to the power of half, and a half is 1, so 3 to the power of 1. So here it is. All right, so that all makes, I suppose, some sort of sense. Now, let's imagine we want to now take, because we know that 3 9s are 27, we've now got 3 separate things that are the same that multiply together to give 27. Well, we've been asked to do this as a power of 9, not as a power of 3. But we know that 3 is equal to 9 to the half. So rather than writing 27 as 3 times 3 times 3, we could replace that with 9 to the power of a half. So allow me to show you. So we could say 27 is equal to 9 to the half times 9 to the half times 9 to the half. And suddenly we're expressing 27 as a power of 9. Well, let's just finish that off. I think we're most of the way there now, yeah? So that means that 27 is equal to 9, and we've got a half plus a half plus a half. Half plus a half plus a half. Which, of course, means that 27 is equal to, so I've got a 9, and what's half and a half and a half? It's equal to 1 1/2. Of course, we don't want to write we don't want to write a mixed number or a mixed fraction. for an index. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to write it as an improper. Well, 3 halves are, well, 3 halves. And there is our solution. So the key here, folks, is to work it through step by step, thinking every step of the way and understanding the relationship between the powers and various other numbers. As long as you can do that, you can reach this point here and say, yes, I've got a strategy for that. Rather than writing this one here, we can replace the 3's with 9 to the halves. And suddenly we're adding the halves, and we've got now 27 expressed as a power of 9.